then maybe break it down. Maybe stretch the deadline out a bit further. My point is, find a deadline and a word limit per day that you can work to. And honestly, it will make the idea of writing, 150, whatever, how many thousand words, it'll make it a lot nicer. It'll make it a lot easier.
Although, don't feel like you have to do 100k in 2 months. This guy is practiced at writing.
Yeah, no, I'm crazy. Don't copy me. I'm a terrible example. My point is, pick a word limit a day you can accomplish, that you feel you can personally accomplish. Ignore everybody else. They can write however much they want. Pick a word limit you can stick to, and stick to it.
And don't overdo it daily, because you'll find that your writing will decrease in quality after the first 2 hours, I find. Or the 3 hour mark is when it stops being good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the more you force yourself to write, the worse it's going to get. So, a couple of hours each day, I'd say you can manage that, and you'd be like, yeah, this is brilliant. I'm having so much fun. And then when it starts to trail off, it's like, right, stop. Cut yourself off right there.
And obviously, if you're in an office or you're in a school environment, every day, cut down the number. Make sure you're not overdoing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Your book will get published if you're going to put the work in and write it. It can be done in any time. There's no point ruining your life over it.
Definitely.
Now, personally, I write a book in basically not even remotely the way you do it. This is the only sense in which I am disorganized, I think, with this kind of thing. The main sense for which I am disorganized. The main sense, yeah. And that is my planning and writing a novel. I basically just, at this point, I have a word limit every month that I have to complete. I will do it whenever I want. So some days I'll be there at 4 a.m. I can't sleep. I'm going to write a bit of that novel I was writing. And then other days it'll be 6 p.m. And the beauty of being able to do that is you don't feel pressured each day. If you deal with pressure badly, you're not pressured each day to write when you get home from work or whatever straight away. When you've got a weekend off, you can just sit there and let your mind do its thing as long as you want to. And you find it a little bit easier if pressure and stress isn't good for you. So that's a little suggestion from my end. And
it's just a different in writing styles between the two of us, but they're both very effective. So pick one that works for you, really. You might not agree with either of our ways of writing, which is also fine. Just go with it. Find a way of writing that works for you.
Agreed.
Right. So you have written your first draft. Oh, in fact, hang on, actually, pause. Competitions. There's a couple of competitions run by a website called NaNoWriMo. These competitions have loads of writers just like you who want to put words on paper. I would honestly recommend, even if you've never done anything like before, I'd recommend joining in. They set themselves a word limit of 50,000 in a month, which is quite a lot. So you won't necessarily hit it on your first time, but it is honestly great, encouragement just to write words, just go for it. Turn off that part of your brain that says, is this good, is this bad, and just write. I've done it myself, and it's brilliant encouragement. There's loads of people who you can ask questions and advice, and then it usually also encourages me to put words on paper.
Yeah, definitely. And if you are starting to doubt your work, don't stop writing it. LinkedIn is a fantastic resource. Pop up a small extract of your writing. Just ask people what they think of it. Make sure your work is protected if you're going to do that, though. Don't just go handing out free samples of your work. It's complicated. You get the idea.
Yeah, if your enthusiasm is flagging and you're worried that your writing isn't as good as you want it to be, just ask for feedback. The chances are, I think every writer struggles with the fact that they are super critical of their own work.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So find somebody else who isn't you and ask for their feedback. Chances are they'll say, actually, yeah, this is pretty good. I like where this is going.
And usually they have constructive criticism. For example, your use of commas is completely wrong. But this is a very good story. Nobody in particular.
No, definitely not me. Right, okay, so you have your first draft. Honestly, at this point, I would recommend, before trying to redraft or anything like that, I'd leave it for a while.
I was just about to say, take a break, leave that fucking thing alone.
I'll say, have a chill.
It's been in your head for such a long time now.
Yeah.
I don't know, put it in a safe, go on a holiday for 2 weeks, or whatever it is you do with your life, leave it alone.
Yeah. So put your story down for a period of time, 2 weeks, a month, however long. Just recharge yourself and then come back to it and start reading over it. It will be that much easier to see, mistakes, especially grammatical mistakes.
No, mine can
Yeah. But, you'll be able to see, all kind of the plot holes, all the mistakes. It'll be that much easier. And you'll also be coming back to it fresh, retarded. You'll come, like, I've done it recently with a proper full-length novel that I tried to write. When I got to the end, I was like, I really don't like this. And I was like, oh no, oh God, I'm going to have to restart from scratch. And I was doing all this. Put it down for, God, a couple of months, I think, in the end. And recently, just read through the whole thing. And actually kind of decided I quite liked it. So, give yourself that time to recharge before doing any of the next steps.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Right, so, once you've recharged, editing. In fact, no, not necessarily editing. We'll call this stage redrafting. Basically...
Well, actually, can I make a suggestion here?
Yeah, go on then.
Hand it off to an editor or somebody who's good at English. Not for a main edit. Just get them to read through it and basically give you some feedback. For example, any noticed plot holes, any like strings that have been left untied towards the end, or grammar is a good point. Be like, you've used certain semicolons wrong, put them here instead and they'll work.
There's too many commas, there's not enough commas.
Sorry. I am sorry. I'm only mean because it's the easiest way to get the point across.
But yeah, no, these are very good points actually. Yeah,
actually, that's a good point. I've been very, very condescending during this. That is purely because the truth about writing is it's not easy. It's not something you're going to enjoy every day. If you're not enjoying it ever, you're probably doing the wrong thing now. So
yeah,
make sure this is where you want to be.
Definitely. Right. So yeah, actually I'm doing the same thing. So yeah, right. After your first draft, after your recharge, find some feedback. Beta readers are a brilliant example here. Personally, I'd recommend not asking family or friends for help with this. Find yourself a writing group or some kind of online writing group. Find yourself a group of people who you know enough to, trust to give you constructive feedback on your work, but at the same time, who don't have that unfortunate status of being your friends or family and therefore not wanting to hurt your feelings. Lane admittedly is an exception to this rule because he loves hurting my feelings, but...
And everybody else's.
Yes. Stop smiling over there. But my point being, at the minute, I have a writing group that I join in and take part in, and I've given it to them to ask them all for feedback because, I trust them to, know their shit when it comes to stories, but, not be nice, not be nice enough to me not to tell me what's shit, basically. I can't put that any less bluntly, I'm sorry. Right, so... I'm losing the trail.
Okay, so we've done the first draft,
Yeah,
we've done the
done
beta
things.
readers.
Second draft.
Yeah,
Redraft
second
it.
draft, basically. This is where I'd say you'd start the second draft. You look over what everybody has said to you, what everybody has been like, no, that's wrong, all the way through, and you take that advice, instead of crying about it, rewrite the book and do what people have said, but don't necessarily take every single bit of advice. Take the bits you've heard most from the most people, because if you do what every single person says,
yeah, you'll end up with lots of conflicting statements.
you're not going to have a book. It'll be like, I don't know, the Bible or the dictionary or something.
Okay, we're not going into theological debate today. Not a chance. Right, but it's still a good point. Theology aside, yeah, definitely go through. If a lot of people say this character is not good, and I don't mean in like an evil way, I mean like this character just isn't good.
Yeah, like
then listen to them. However, if like for example, you might come across a bit where only one person, says something and a lot of other people think it's good, in which case, basically use your judgment. If you come across a bit where people have said, oh, I don't like this, but at the same time you feel it's an integral part of your story, it's your story, I mean, I definitely follow some of the advice given, but if there's places where you feel that the advice isn't right, or places where only one or two people, use common sense, basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so use your common sense. Honestly, if lots of people are saying something's not good, it might not be good. You might have to rewrite it.
Yeah, not every idea you have is going to be the gold one.
Yeah.
But you will have a gold idea. Everybody who puts the work in and practices every day gets to that point. The reason not every single Starbucks Macintosh writer isn't a published author is because most of them give up after about 3 months, start a new story, get bored, and to be honest, are more obsessed with looking cool writing.
Yeah, I'd say hipster scarves and hats and all that.
I mean, they are in every coffee shop these days.
Yeah, no, I've seen loads of them. Sorry. Right, we got sidetracked.
We are
again.
incredibly stereotypical.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah. To be fair, we've done exactly the same, so we are those hipster writers. Except
Yeah.
we do get finished at least.
Yeah, at least like
Right.
we have finished books.
So yeah, so second draft, take this advice on board, do with it what you will. I would recommend implementing at least some of it. You know, maybe a few bits which you feel aren't right, you know, maybe, but anyway. Take this advice on board, redraft your work. Would you recommend another round of beta reading after that point, or would you think...
It depends entirely on the response to the beta readers the first time.
Yeah.
If they were like, this is awesome, there's just these few little bits you should change, don't get another round of beta readers.
Yeah.
They've told you exactly what's wrong with it. You've done it.
Yeah.
If they're like, God damn it, this is horrendous, rewrite the whole thing, get better readers the second time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you need to know if you fixed it or if it's still shit.
So that's good. So yeah, actually,
Frankly.
this is, in fact, yeah, this would be a brilliant time to ask your beta readers, say, right, if I implement these changes, do you think, you know, this would need reading over again, or do you think I could... So just ask them, ask people's opinions. And, you know, with a bit of luck, they'll say, no, this is brilliant, you just need to implement these few changes, like Lane said.
And regardless, after that, go to an editor again.
Yeah.
A lot of self-published authors don't, and even my favourite, like, indie authors who aren't with, like, a label or anything, have mistakes in their books online, and it's understandable, you know, you don't have the huge budget and stuff.
To be honest, I found it in big budget books as well. I found the odd mistake.
Actually, I found quite a few. In a series of unfortunate events, there were several through the first few books. So, you know, the book is never going to have no flaws.
But yeah, definitely. Once you've reached the end of the second draft stage, or possibly the third draft if you need to go that far, but hopefully you won't. Yeah, get it to somebody to go over it for grammar, definitely.
Like, fully. Get them to change it, or mark everything in red with annotations next to it for what needs changing and why.
Yeah. Speaking personally, yeah, definitely. I never let anything I write go out without grammar checking, because my grammar is atrocious.
Yeah. I tend not to as an editor, although there was the one incident where I sent you back the unedited file.
Yeah, you got in trouble for that, you don't.
Still.
But yeah, so, you know, it might be somebody you happen to know who's just, like, really good at grammar. That's fine, because, you know, as Lane said, we don't have big budgets if we're not doing it through publishing houses.
I'm totally freelance, but in November I managed to make my rent money just from editing, so...
There we go. So Lane wants your money, and he will do a good job in return, he promises.
I'll do a good job if you're paying me. If you're not paying me, expect, I don't know, lots of question marks just sprouted throughout, and probably the word penis in the title.
Of course, right. Anyway, moving on. If you don't have access to an editor, then actually you can probably do a good job. Just get people, again, get your beta readers to read over it and just look for these mistakes. Because chances are enough people look at a manuscript, you know, get somebody to look at it, make their changes, then get another somebody, keep going. Eventually, enough people read it, they're going to get most of the mistakes.
Yeah.
And
that is as good as it can get in some situations.
Pretty much, yeah. Right, okay, so you have your beautifully redrafted, edited novel. It's done. Where would you go next?
To be honest, formatting.
Oh, yeah, formatting.
Sorry, incredibly boring. I don't even have any jokes for this. Or anything humorous to say. Formatting is basically the death of me. It's the reason depression exists in this body. I'm joking. See, I did have a joke. But seriously, formatting, boring as shit. It's got to be done. Make sure you've researched how big you want your novel to be, and then to every single page, apply that shape and make sure there is bleed room for basically gluing pages together and anything else that comes in printing. I'm not a printer. I don't know what you do. But yeah, formatting. Make sure the pages are the right size. Make sure the fonts will match where they're meant to. You haven't got bits and bobs like chapters that start 2 lines lower down, and that also includes adding all the legal information in the front and the titles and the bits that come at the back. So I realise that's a lot of stuff you've got to do. It takes like 3 days to do it, unless you want to do it all in one day and go crazy for a few months.
So definitely, if you are if you're going the indie route, then definitely you need to format your novel before trying to publish it in any way.
I do that for money, by the way.
Stop trying to plug your business in here.
I know it's your business too.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not trying to make money off of the podcast, so sure. Right.
If we do product placement, so we like get money, buy an iPhone today.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, if you go in the indie route, then definitely formatting. It's especially for Kindle formatting, because likely you're going the ebook route before anything else if you're doing it indie, because it's free. then actually there are lots of guidebooks on there on formatting your book for e-readers.
Oh, and Create Space alongside KDP is the hardback novel or paperback novel